Welcome to the UNM Healthcast. I'm Elizabeth Dwyer-Sandlin, and today we are talking with the folks from Vassar House, which is an exciting new resource on North Campus. We'll be speaking with Anya McCarthy, who is a campus advocate here at UNM, and Kelly Cano Martinez, who is the HSC accommodations specialist. Welcome, Kelly and Anya.
Hello.
Thanks.
How exciting.
I'm so happy to have you here today. I would really love to hear from each of you just a little bit about yourselves to start us off today. Kelly, why don't you tell us about who you are and the work that you do?
Sure, sounds great. Well, thank you again, Elizabeth, for introducing me. I'm Kelly Cano Martinez, and like she said, I'm HSC's accommodation specialist. I work with Accessibility Resource Center. They're mainly housed on main campus, but you can consider me like the satellite person. And this is Vassar House is like the satellite center for HSC students with disabilities to get accommodations in their classes and their clinicals and for their licensing exams. I'm kind of the not so professional term to put the go-to girl to get accommodations on campus. And I started in this position back in October of last year. Before that, I was working as a sign language interpreter. So I've had a long time working with people with disabilities, more specifically with deaf and hard of hearing people. However, newer onto the HSC end, which has been super exciting because nursing had been a long-term dream of mine that never came to fruition, and that's fine. And I think this is the closest part that I can get into it. So yeah, so I work with students with disabilities and help them get accommodations in their classes, help them find other resources on campus to just support them to be the best student that they can be on campus.
That's fantastic. And, deferred dreams notwithstanding, now you can get business cards that say "Go-To Girl." So there's
no perk. I like that. I just ordered business cards and I wish I had added that onto there. That would be it's the unofficial title, I guess you could say.
Next time it'll be right there at the bottom.
Yeah, when I run out of the cards, I'll be sure to add it on there.
Sounds perfect. And Anya, welcome to the program, and tell us a little bit about who you are and the work you do and how you got to UNM.
Sure, thanks. And now I want to get you stickers that say "Go-To Girl," Kelly.
Love it.
Yeah. So I work as an advocate with the Women's Resource Center, which is an awesome spot on main campus that's been there since 1972. And we have expanded to North Campus to meet the needs of learners here, and really open to what that looks like, and still learning what's needed at HSC and what students' visions are for resources and programs that we might be able to create. But as a confidential advocate, I'm able to respond and help with resource navigation when a student goes through something like a Title IX violation, which is sexual harassment, dating violence, sexual violence, domestic violence, or stalking. And I hope nothing like that ever happens to anyone listening. But if you're dealing with that, or someone who is, advocates like myself can, and I'm the only one on North Campus, can help you decide what reporting options there might be before an automatic report is triggered. Because as students may or may not know, all faculty and staff at UNM are mandated to report when they hear that such a violation has occurred. So sometimes it can be a barrier to, getting support when you need it. You start to tell someone something, you're not sure what to do about it yet, and then they have to file a report, and then you're into this whole process. So we could look at that, what the reporting options are, but kind of maybe more importantly, or first and foremost, just get trauma support. And services, including academic accommodations if needed when you're dealing with a traumatic event. And we have a free counseling program that through the Women's Resource Center that also meets here at Vassar House. We have counseling interns that provide short-term counseling for free for everyone in the UNM community. So those are some of the ways I'm available. And I came to this work through working with domestic violence survivors in the community in Santa Fe, and I have loved doing that and really passionate about both the prevention of that type of violence, education around it, building a culture of consent, and just doing programs that, advance the goals of intersectional feminism. Let's do it.
I'm on board. Let's do
Cool.
it. Fantastic. So I just wanted to reiterate that in the last couple of years, the learners on North Campus we've really been working to develop resources for folks to serve their needs and to create better, more inclusive, more supportive learning environments with fewer incidents and, obviously ideal world, perfect world, zero incidents of learner mistreatment and things like that. And I loved what you said about how Vassar House exists to help students realize the visions that they have for what their learning environment looks like. So if each of you could speak a little bit to like how students can take advantage of Vassar House in the programs and resources that you offer in order to share those visions, and how they might reach out to each of you to say, I think this would be really great. I'd love to hear a little bit more about that.
Sure. Yeah. Just one quick thing about Accessibility Resource Center. We don't have a lot of programming, like types of things like to host events and like have more communities of students come together. But one, HSC and just medical campuses in general, there's this odd, I think it's kind of odd, this doctor-patient relationship when it comes with dealing with people who have disabilities. So sometimes the view is that the person who has a disability is broken and needs to be fixed. But with ARC, we view all of our work through a social justice lens, meaning that people who have disabilities are a part of the natural human condition, and they should be included and part of the conversation. And I think cultivating that type of culture for working with people with disabilities, and specifically our learners and students with disabilities, is my main goal. And I want this space to be the warm and welcoming environment to feel like they're able to disclose and provide documentation to get accommodations, whether they need them or not, will be part of that conversation. But that's really my main goal when it comes to working with students at Vassar House, and specifically on the HSC side. I'm excited for that. And it's been fun to have more students now that, we still have to wear masks and everything, but having students come in and we do an intake. It's called a welcome meeting with our students who want to get registered with us, and doing those meetings to talk about accommodations in person has been really fun. So hopefully we can continue doing that as we're publicizing who we are and what we're achieving.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And just real quick, Anya, before you jump in, I am realizing I want to reiterate for folks that while Anya works through the Women's Resource Center and Kelly works through the ARC, through the Accessibility Resource Center.
Yep, you got it. Yeah.
Those are both resource centers? Okay, great.
Yeah.
They
so many
are
resources.
So many resources. They're both housed at Vassar House.
Yes.
On North Campus. So that is why Vassar House is your now one-stop shop for all of these amazing services. And it sounds like Kelly is your point of contact if you are someone or know of someone who needs help, supporting them in their learning environment or in their campus daily life. In terms of accessibility.
Yeah. So anytime for example, if you have a disability, you haven't disclosed to anybody yet. However, you're struggling with exams or getting a little nervous about licensing exams and possibly might need more time, for example, I'm the one who you should come to. We'll have a conversation, and we, the official term we use is the interactive process, start an interactive dialogue to talk about, what you're experiencing, what are the barriers that whoever you are experiencing in the classroom, and what accommodations can you use to break those barriers down. And even though like you just said, the one-stop shop is the perfect coined term for Vassar House here. I really like that.
Fantastic. So we'll get to your contact information and where exactly Vassar House is as soon as we hear from Anya about what visions she can help bring to life for students.
Yeah, thanks for asking that. one of the first things that we did here was a virtual program that was a little book-based discussion group about this book, The Body Is Not an Apology by Sonia Renee Taylor. And what I love about that book is it's a really intersectional look at this idea of self-love. We think about self-love and self-care in individual terms most often. And of course, it's so important to have that in our lives. But Sonia Renee Taylor's perspective is kind of that, we have these systems that are so oppressive to bodies in so many ways, in so many distinct and interrelated ways, that part of loving ourselves is dismantling those systems, right? Or reimagining them. And so it's something we'd like to do another round of if people are interested. We have some free copies of the book, and really looking at how disability justice might fit with anti-racism efforts on this campus, might fit with feminism, might fit with combating transphobia, homophobia, etc. So just how those things fit together when it comes to bodies, and taking another kind of loving, community-minded perspective on self-care, maybe, which can be challenging, I know. So that was our first program. And this past weekend, actually, there's a student group here at HSC called CAUSE, and it's an acronym for Community Action for UNM Student Empowerment. And they do a lot of different projects doing community engagement. And we actually had a zine workshop that we hosted here, and then we were virtual with the participants, which were some youth in the community in Albuquerque at New Day. And we had a blast making zines about courage and about what we would tell our younger selves to help ourselves be braver, or what we would tell our future selves to be braver. And we want to do that again. So those are some examples of what we've done so far. And we're actually looking forward to, on the end of this month, September 30th, we're going to have an open house here at Vassar in the afternoon, evening, 3 to 6. And I think our theme is going to be Dream and Grow with us. And you can come plant a little seed in a pot to take home. You could also participate in a vision board, and it could be individual visioning, but also visions you have for the space. We'd love for you to come see it. It's a really cozy converted house. There's a lot of open space that can be utilized for student purposes. And so we'd love to have people study here, as some people have already started to do. You could come study here during the day. We're open 8 to 5 during the week, sometimes more. And if student groups want to meet here, we have space for that. And then if there's programs that you feel like fit with our mission that there hasn't been support for, we're open. We're here for that. And we're excited to build with people here on this campus.
That's so fantastic. I am interested in all of those things that you mentioned. So generating interest already. Like, I want to read that book. I want to talk about
Cool.
it.
Yeah, we have free copies, so come on by and get one.
Okay. Don't gotta tell me twice. Okay. So I'm assuming you're on Vassar, but where are you exactly, and how can people find you?
So our address is 917 Vassar Drive.
And then just to remind folks, that is where you can find the open house on September 30th from 3 to 6. So that's a great time to come by to meet Anya and Kelly and talk a little bit more about things that you have in mind for how HSC can be a better and more supportive environment. Do either of you have emails or phone numbers you would like to share with the viewers?
Yeah. So to get in contact with me, if anybody's just curious about accommodations, curious about what other support that we can do for students with disabilities, you're welcome to email me. It's Cano, CANO26@unm.edu. And my phone number is 505-277-0316. So yeah, come on. And you're welcome to just drop in and say hi too.
Yeah. We have an official email, vassarhouse@salud.unm.edu. And my number here is 505-277-0191. Yeah, and definitely encourage the visits in person as well.
That's great.
We've been really, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just saying, we've been really enjoying having students come by, and, Anya and I both started this position in the middle of, we're still in the middle of COVID, but deeper into COVID where everything was online and over Zoom, and where, Zoom is comfortable, but it's been fun to actually meet people face to face and have that 3D component when we're meeting with students and other staff. So it's been great.
Absolutely. There's, an element to trying to build a new kind of learning environment that I'm sure really helps when you're actually in the learning environment. So.
Exactly. Exactly.
I wish I knew the exact date for this. I don't quite yet, but coming soon, we're going to have free printing here too.
Ooh,
so you can come print stuff.
Seems like if I was still in college, I'd be there in a heartbeat. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with folks before we wrap up today, just in terms of, the role that you feel you play at Vassar House, or how Vassar House as a whole can serve the learners on North Campus? Any final thoughts from either of you, Kelly and Anya?
Yeah, we're very much working as a team with other wonderful offices that you may know of on this campus. Leo are our partners. We have the library, DEI, and on main campus, of course, WRC and ARC, as we mentioned. And there's no student affairs department at HSC in the same way that there is on main campus, but that's kind of where we come from. That's what we're passionate about. So we're here for students, and if students are kind of like looking for support and resources and don't know where to turn, like, even if we're not the perfect place, we'll connect you, and yeah, we're here for you. We're excited to meet you. Thanks.
Yeah. I just basically want to echo the same thing that Anya said. If there's, maybe not necessarily ARC or WRC can provide exactly what you're looking for, we definitely know people who we can connect you to and get you connected with us. And I'm looking forward to breaking down that medical model view of disability and really focusing more on the social justice end. I think overall that's really going to benefit you when the student becomes a provider, whether that's through School of Medicine, OT, PT, the whole gamut. Helps you provide that connection with your patients and things like that. And I love to have those conversations with our students. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to having more traffic here at Vassar House and supporting in every way that we can.
You inspired me, Kelly, to mention also that we believe beyond the shadow of a doubt that, having more people with disabilities and women in healthcare professions makes us all healthier, makes our communities healthier. So yeah, we're here to help you through that learning experience.
And you're both inspiring me to point out that this learning environment that we're talking about is not limited to undergraduate students at the School of Medicine, that our learners include residents and fellows and graduate research students, and like all the people who are learning different healthcare facets of the healthcare profession on North Campus. So just wanted to reiterate that Vassar House is not just for the undergraduate set, that all learners are welcome, and that you are ready to, talk to all folks at all the different levels about what their needs and visions might be.
Yes, I work with students from the Bachelor of Science Nursing program all the way through residents through in School of Medicine. So if you fit within that gamut, please come on by.
Fantastic. That seems like a really great place to wrap up for the day. I just want to thank you both, Kelly and Anya, for talking and stopping by and the program to chat with us about Vassar House, which is just a really wonderful, incredible new resource here on North Campus. I'm thrilled that we have it. Excited for the open house. I'm going to make a vision board. It's going to be great. And thank you so much. And we'll make sure all the contact information gets put up on this Healthcast so folks can reach out to you as needed. Thanks so much for being here today.